Hey first grade, here we are, we're at the Atrium. Let's go learn about some butterflies.
I visited the butterfly atrium near Hershey Park. An atrium is a building with really high ceilings so that the butterflies can fly around. Before I went into the atrium, I got to learn a lot of fun facts about butterflies, like how they have the same body parts as grasshoppers. I even got to see a cute little friend up close and personal. It was baby caterpillars! Let's head inside and take a look at the butterfly exhibit. Now I'm going to show you some of the butterflies that I got to see. This is the last picture for now, but I'll show you more pictures after each question that Miss Barbara answers. Speaking of which, meet Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara was a librarian for many years, and then when the atrium opened in 2016, she began working there. Let's learn a little more about her.
I truly love to be in here with these different butterflies from around the world. I have learned a lot by working here. I've always loved nature. Didn't know too much about butterflies, but now I know a lot about butterflies, and they are just amazing creatures. It's so beautiful when they're flying, eating, and resting.
Can you tell us a little bit about why the butterflies are so colorful?
Okay, the butterflies are so colorful so that when they are flying and eating, they pretty much match the plants that they are eating from, and that their predators, the animals that eat them, maybe frogs, maybe salamanders, maybe snakes, maybe birds, can't find them as easily, and so that's why they're colorful. They also bring wonderful color to our world, so that's also a great thing. They also then help to pollinate the plants, and that's also perfect.
Miss Barbara talked about pollination, and that's when bugs such as butterflies or bees move pollen to different plants so that they can make new plants.
So can you tell us a little bit about the life cycle of a butterfly?
I sure can. Butterflies, when they're adults, they live 3 to 4 weeks. That's it. But in that time, they're mating, they're laying eggs, so that's the next part of their life cycle, the egg. The egg takes 2, maybe 3 weeks to emerge as a teeny tiny little caterpillar. That caterpillar eats and eats and eats food and grows, sheds its skin 4 or 5 times, and then in an amazing process, it forms something called a chrysalis, which is for a butterfly, a cocoon for a moth. The chrysalis is like their coat, and while they're in that coat, they're transforming from a moth caterpillar into a butterfly. And then 2 to 3 weeks after that, they come out as a butterfly.
This is a picture of the butterfly life cycle that Miss Barbara was talking about. It starts as an egg, becomes a caterpillar, becomes a chrysalis, and then becomes an adult butterfly. The atrium also had this chrysalis cabinet, which had a bunch of baby butterflies in the making. Let's take a closer look.
One of my kiddos wants to know how many butterfly species there are.
There are many thousand of butterfly species. In here, we only get 40 to 60 different kinds. So there are maybe 350,000 or more.
Wow.
That's a lot of butterflies.
It is.
A lot of different types.
So then what do those butterflies eat?
They eat either the nectar from the flowers, they eat the juice from the fruits. Some butterflies prefer drinking from rotting fruit. That's what they eat. You like fresh fruit. They like rotten fruit. Or we provide them Gatorade in here, in our kitchen scrubbies.
I saw for myself that butterflies love their food. Here, take a look.
Okay. Do butterflies have ears?
Butterflies do not have ears. They have antennas that come out from their head, and that's how they sense what's going on in their world.
Miss Barbara talked about the butterfly's antenna, which is the little string things hanging off the top of his head.
One of my kids wanted to know if a certain species of caterpillar grows into a certain species of butterfly.
It certainly does. There's only the caterpillars are different for each species of butterfly or moth, and they only grow into the butterfly or moth that they are related to. So yes, that is very important to know that.
Okay, and then are any of them poisonous?
Now, if you are someone who's going to eat butterflies, yes, they could be poisonous, but mostly they just taste bad, and I wouldn't recommend eating them. But some of the birds won't eat monarchs because the milkweed puts out a substance that makes them not taste good and be almost poisonous to the bird.
That's interesting. And then somebody wanted to know how butterflies move. Do they just fly? Do they move other ways?
Most butterflies will only fly. They will occasionally walk across the ground, but very little. Mostly they fly. That's it.
So what are some of the big dangers for butterflies and how can we help them?
Okay, first of all, the biggest danger for butterflies are insects or other creatures that eat them. The second one is the lack of food. If we don't provide enough plants that have flowers for them to eat from, then, or the milkweed for especially the monarchs to reproduce, then we won't have butterflies. But the third thing is all the pesticides that we use. And so all the things to kill off plants that we don't want in our yards. So that's a really big problem. And but the best thing to do is plant a flower garden for our butterflies.
So how can we grow our own butterfly gardens at home?
You can provide a lot of different plants that have flowers on them. Any type of flower butterflies will eat from, but if you want to get eggs and caterpillars, depending on the type of butterfly, you need those certain plants. A prime example, the monarchs need milkweed. They will only lay eggs on the milkweed. The caterpillars will only eat the milkweed plants. And then they form the chrysalis again and then come out as monarch butterflies. So, but any plant that has a lot of nectar in it is perfect for your garden.
So can you tell me a little bit about the atrium itself?
Okay, the atrium itself opened almost 2 years ago. And our whole intention was to have a lot of different butterflies from around the world in here. So each and every week, we get our butterflies in the chrysalis state. Remember I talked earlier about them transforming from caterpillar into butterfly from that little chrysalis. And so each and every week we get a shipment of our tropicals. Each and every week, almost each and every week, we get our natives, Native North Americans. So our staff works on taking care of all of our butterflies, making sure they have food, making sure that they have the flowers and everything that they need.
Can you talk about the different butterflies you have here?
Sure. We have between 40 and 60 different kinds of butterflies from all over the world. Not just from North America, but one of the species that you're going to be interested in is the painted lady. They're a small butterfly, but they're beautiful. They love purple cone flowers in the summer, and they are really easy to raise from caterpillar into chrysalis into butterfly.
This is a picture of the painted lady that Miss Barbara was talking about. It's actually the butterfly that you guys are going to be getting in your class so soon. That's all for now, but if you still want to know more about butterflies, you can visit the Hershey Atrium anytime and Miss Barbara will answer all your questions. Thank you, Miss Barbara.